Thank you for joining us. This morning we'll be discussing LP congresses across the nation. LP appears to be moving from one crisis to the LP had scheduled there, which is still going to be going on, and from December 2nd to December 6th across the nation. That of the second is for the wards, and fourth for the local government, and the sixth
for the state.
The Abia State, some interest in Abia State had gone to court, and they were able to get a court order, stopping them from conducting the Congress in Abia State. But the reportage we have across everywhere is that they have stopped them, from conducting the Congress at all across the nation. Let me start from you first.
Okay, a court in Isalangwa, you mean? Where
Isalangwa. As a matter of fact, the speaker of what's going one LP, it'll be all right for him. He said it's a rural court. I mean, why do politicians do this? Rural court. Because high court is a high court. No matter where it's located. Whether it's rural or whether it's located in Marina, Lagos, or it's located in exactly. The court is a court, but sincerely, the court has stopped them, and I think wherever the court is from, as long as the court in Nigeria, it has stopped them. But you see, this is the politics they have played in the Labour Party. They have stopped them for. Maybe before we go ahead, can we just flash? Maybe we can flush that part of the court order that was specifically underlying Abia State, so you can go ahead. Okay, you can see if you follow that on the line, say in Abia State,
yes,
it was specific there in Abia State, all the so how it became coextensive to the entire nation is what people want to.
Did they say a customary court?
No. They say no. Abia, they conducted the Congress in Abia State.
Not only in Abia.
No. From what the court order, I'll show you.
In Abia State.
In Abia State.
Okay. Yes. So from what the court order
said,
just in Abia State. That means every other place can go.
Because I have a couple of the court order.
Okay, so we normally say that, look, let's remove sentiment.
Yeah.
Let's remove whether Abure is a sellout, whatever you call Abure.
Yes.
Is it the chairman of Labour Party? Yes. The umpire says he's the recognized chairman of Labour Party.
That's an INEC.
INEC, that's the umpire. So they had a convention and he emerged. You wait until it's time to change him. That's what you will change him. Where we need to focus on is things must be done the right way. A caretaker committee, is it provided in the constitution of Labour Party? Yes or no? That's what we need. Who chose Nenadi-Usman as the leader or as the caretaker committee chairman of Labour Party and all his ESCO? Where is the convention? Where is what they did? We should start learning how to do things rightly. And I've said this thing before. I said dictionary meaning of faction doesn't tell you that you must have a leadership. It's a dissenting voice within an organization.
Exactly.
Doesn't mean that you should have another leadership. So they are calling them this faction. There's no this faction, there's no other faction. You can say there's a faction, but they did not have a leadership role to play.
All right, let me come to you. I'm very conversant with Labour Party constitution. You have National Working Committee, National Executive Council, and the National Convention. There are too many other organs of the party. Nenadi-Usman's emergence as a factional leader, which they called her, and they automatically become a caretaker committee chairman. Which organ of the party, appointed her?
See, my view is even a bit higher than that.
Okay.
Sometimes I ask myself, what's at stake in Labour Party? By that I mean, what are these guys fighting for? What is there?
You are not APC.
You are not controlling the government. You don't have anything. Why are you fighting? And that brings me to the issue of the big guy called Peter Obi. You jumped in there. They gave you their ticket. After the election, what did you do to build and consolidate the party? If you are, we are talking about a small group of persons now. You cannot organize them. You cannot get them together to say, guys, we have a bigger fish to fry. let us calm down and wait. At least they won a couple of elections here and there, just because people were fascinated and they were also angry with the establishment. So politicians do what they want to do, and it irritates me sometimes when I see these people fighting over nothing. When are we going to grow up? When are we going to take things seriously? These are little enclaves of authority, and I would expect that if you are a serious-minded person, just like all of you are family members, right?
Yeah.
You organize. Do you get to fight within your family every time and open your dirty limits to the public?
Outsiders.
So why are we doing this? And the fact that it is now a cankerworm, as we used in those days in the primary school or secondary school, the corruption is a cankerworm, or that very popular thing. Almost every other party, except perhaps the APC, has factions now, and everybody is fighting. Why are they fighting?
In this LP, let me stay with you a little bit before going back to leave Labour Party and probably go elsewhere, like Atiku has done. He left PDP and is gone to ADC.
I don't know what Obi can do at the moment, because if you are a pilot, you don't get on a live flight to learn how to fly through turbulence, right?
Yeah.
You go to a simulation cockpit first and do all the practice.
Yeah.
There was a calm and quiet period, and that was after the election.
Yes. And he was almost, if I use this word, he was almost almighty in Labour.
Yes.
In Nigeria.
And what was he doing? He was busy jumping from one place to the other, visiting people. This one will have somebody lost a family member here, he will go there. This one he will go there. He went to Egypt to go and look at whatever. He left the nest, which is his resting place, which is his home. He didn't do anything. I don't see Peter Obi organizing the Labour Party. It's not going to happen because the dogs are out.
Okay, let me come to this convention now. If Abia State, of course, certainly they are not going for national convention. So issue of that delegates from Abia
they are going to miss
come is out of it. So do you think the convention Abure is going to get ahead with that? There's not going to be any problem, any legal problem.
As it is now, because what they portrayed, that's the Nenadi-led faction, was that there was a blanket overall. But if you read it closely, you find out they said Abia State. Abia State. So that one is settled. It's about Abia. So until they settle Abia, when they are now going for, in Abia State they suspended the governor from the party, and they also suspended
the only governor they have.
It's laughable. Now, we are clear with that now. But let me come to what Philmon said about what Obi lost the chance to put Labour together. There were statements he made that are unguided and they were not nice. Number one, he said that obedience are in every party. You can't give birth to children and scatter them everywhere. Don't be giving birth, you give one to Malam, you give birth, you give one to pastor, you give
Malam, not Malamuka.
Do you understand? Nobody does that. Nobody does that. That's number one. Number two, Obi had the privilege of changing Abure in Asaba immediately after the election. He said
actually.
No, in Asaba first.
Okay, the first one was
in Asaba. Then they had a real convention after 1 year elongation that they gave to Abure. And they elected Abure, and Obi was not even there. The party is not going to wait for Obi to be there.
Supported in Newey's convention.
His deputy governor was there, and he had delegates that went there. So at what point was Abure now changed? If you had the opportunity, Obi was. I mean, these songs were loud. Obi Kerenke, Baba Mama Labour. I mean, so many things. The smallest child had Obi in his mouth. What did Obi do? Like Philemon said, he was jumping from one place to the other. And he told me, sorry sir, if Obi, whether obedient people, whether they will cry about what I'm saying, that's for them. If Obi cannot root Labour very well, how will he rule Nigeria? I don't know.
Maybe he will tell us. But let me come to you on this. A lot of people are saying that obedient movement are only targeted at Obi being a president. They are not interested in who goes to the Senate, not interested in who goes to the House of Rep, not interested in who becomes a governor, not interested in who goes to the State House and down chairmanship and the local government election. Of course, there's almost no chairmanship or local government. Local government election in Nigeria is always a charade. We'll get there someday. We'll talk about that. Does it mean Obi is not concerned by now about those who are going to be running under whatever political party he's going to choose? Maybe he is thinking he can choose any party at the dying minute. Of course, his followers, his voters, I can assure you, will go with him. Obedience will go with him. If you are doubting that, any political party he chooses. But we don't know until you choose until you choose a political party, you don't know the problem that's going to come. Because today, until the only opposition party at peace is the one that it has not been rumored that Jonathan is going to use, or P2B is going to use, or Atiku is going to use. So you don't even know what might become of that small party you have not mentioned when you mention it. So why not Obi for the interest of all other people, so you don't look selfish, for interest of all other people that are going to also run through the same working with you. People are planning to be senators, governors, and all that. For the interest of those, not everybody has cut life ownership like you. Those people need time to plan. Why not Obi declare where he's going to come from, so that it is also easier for him, so he can know his trusted agent? These were the missing point. The last election, the voting was right, the counting was not right. Can't Obi take a stand now?
You took a word that I wanted to use, and I want to go to court over that. He said, selfishness. I'm sorry, Obi is a very selfish person. Okay? You cannot run. You remember.
But how did you arrive at that?
Now remember when he was coming. The biggest problem people is, he had no structure. Remember that?
Yes.
You have no structure. Where are you going to do? Now, people were saying that we're not seeing the angry youths. And I said it here before. Some of those guys were not necessarily investing their emotions on Obi. They were protesting against the status quo.
Yes.
So what Obi could have done, and let us also be fair to the election, the 2023 election.
Yeah.
Obi did very well.
Very fantabulously well.
He did very well. So we must also give credit to the election 2023, as vilified as it may have been.
Yeah.
Now, once you saw that, and that's another thing I see in Obi. Obi is a businessman, and he's thinking business. He's not thinking business because he sees what he can harvest as a president or as a possible president.
Yeah.
But he's not looking at the guys who are going to work and how they are going to be benefited, right?
Yeah.
If you win the presidency and you have a whole country to run, you don't have governors, you don't have people in the House of Rep, you don't have people in the Senate, you don't have people in the local government and all that. Where do you want to compensate those who have invested in you? How?
Only the presidency.
And how are you going to do that? How? It's not. That tells you that Obi is not a typical politician. A typical politician looks ahead.
Don't want typical politicians.
Wait now, my brother. Let's be fair.
Yes.
From the beginning of time, politicians have
the stage.
They have been running our system.
All right, we'll continue.
Let me say one thing. Now, Obi, as it were, could have galvanized the opposition, including PDP.
Exactly.
They could have taken over the Senate presidency. They had the number.
Yeah.
But Obi failed to do this, and it's catching up.
Let's continue after this 30 seconds break, rather. Just 30 seconds break. Let's continue. Grab yourself a copy of Blind Faculty. It's on Amazon. You can pick a copy or even read some chapters free. Let's get back to discussion of Labour Party. Peter, you're just joining us. Let me start from you. What will this Labour do so that they can have one house? Election is coming 2027.
And this fight has been on for a long while. It is time to share this word. My issue with Nenadi is that for how he arrives where she is now, my issue with her is that this period when Abure was quiet, when she was brandishing court judgment that removed Abure, what did she do to galvanize that party? Nothing. That's my concern with her. She does nothing until Abure acts. You attack it. You had the opportunity. You are banishing court judgment that removed Abure. He had process of calling doing their congresses. He did nothing to galvanize that party. And now, as INEC has recognized Abure, he has become a problem to you. What is her plan with Labour? That's what Obide should be asking. Now, what's your plan? Why do you intend to put Labour in a place they can succeed and win elections? She has no plan. Only plan Nenadi has, I'm saying for obedience to hear. Only plan she has to wait for Abure to act, and she can't act whatever Abure says. Is that a plan? That's not a plan to move a party forward. Obedience should be aware of this. And for some of us have been saying Obi should have galvanized that party. Remember, when Obi came in, there was a war. There was Apapa fighting Abure. He stood by Abure. After the election, the fight continued. Yes, he could have done more. Honestly, I believe he could have done more. But if you look at the intricacies of that party, he's a visitor. That party does not belong to him. They rented that place. It's like a vehicle you rented. He had no control. So the owners of that vehicle were fighting. Apapa was fighting with Abure. What the BB? He stood with Abure. But after a while, probably we don't know what the president before him, that made him take a bad step. So we should never forget that. That house is not his house, it's a rented house. Owners of that house decide to fight among themselves, so there's little or nothing you could have done about that.
Then he should get out of the place.
That's my take on it. Okay, now let me come to you again before I go back to Philemon. Nenadi's candidacy, Nenadi's emergence. Now that INEC, if you love, let's remember what happened in the Bible when two women were dragging the ownership of a baby. If you really want something to survive, now that INEC has recognized Abure's leadership, there's something called special convention. You can still remove Abure by special convention. You don't have to wait in 4 years. 4 years is just the maximum you can hold office. It doesn't mean you must hold office. See, 4 years. Now, you have state chairman, even when the chairman and the national secretary refuses to call up NEC, where their removal will be discussed, 2/3 of the NEC, upon giving certain days, I think it's 21 days, to notice to INEC, can convene such meeting. Abure can still be removed through the process in their constitution. Why? Since Nenadi has the number in LP, she has the followership of the people, like she believes. Abure has been compromised, like they said. Now that INEC has recognized that, why not come for the purpose of preserving labor? If you so love labor, leave this shitty court automation of a party process, which Supreme Court has asked them to hands off. Court should not be the one running political parties. It's not their business. It sounds invalid each time they say court. Say that's not your business. Get on the criminals and take them to the jail. That's what we want you to be doing. Party administration should be left for the party. If you don't like what the party is doing, you go to another one or you form your own. So why not Nenadi galvanize the numbers they have and convey a special convention and remove Abure?
What number does she have? So, number she has just obedient, which are not members of the NEC. So, how many states does she control? So it will be very, very almost impossible for her to do that. She has no control over the party.
So now let me come to, do you think Peter Obi didn't do right? He didn't do good job pushing obedient into labor. That he should have put obedient into labor so that they will own it. This number we are looking for wouldn't even discuss.
Yeah, that's an interesting question.
Now you're side.
Yes, no, I don't have to approach it. He said, Kingsley said something here. He said the Labour obedience are in every party. And he has an issue with it. I don't have an issue with it. Let me come from that. I don't have an issue with it.
Okay.
A lot of people that voted for Obi, they're in other parties.
Yeah.
That I'm in PDP, I voted for Obi. Does not mean I should jettison PDP. And follow Obi to whatever he is. I voted for Obi because I wanted him to be a president.
Yeah.
Probably I did not believe in other candidates that Labour is producing. So having his members in every party, it's allowed. Remember what happened in the Anambra election?
Yeah.
The Labour chairman in Anambra said that we are supporting the governor, though Labour has a candidate. Our support or our bidder movement is for Obi. Every other candidate should, if we look at what you bring to the table. So Labour chairman in Anambra said supported Soludo. So having that, Obi as a person could have done more. I don't dispute that. He could have done more. He would have still had to galvanize them. But to bring everybody to Labour Party, it wasn't going to happen.
Okay, let me come to you, Philemon. I've left you for a long while. I mean, one of the reasons we are seeing unofficially in this space is that Abure has been compromised. You know, but nobody has told us, was it during the last election he was compromised? Because Obi did excellently well. Even with the glitches and the touching, he still did outstandingly well in the last election. To the extent that he had the courage to go through to Supreme Court, believing he won that election. You know, he did excellently well. Nobody, in short, that remains a shocker in the history of Nigerian politics. Correct. So, when was this Abure compromised in quotes? And nobody has given us a clear evidence of when and what and how Abure was compromised, to the extent that they don't want to have anything to do with Abure's leadership in Labour. What did he receive money? Who sent that money? Do they have evidence of the transfer, or was he involved in a discussion that said I'm going to sell up the party or something? Can they really tell the people? Because Labour Party as it is a hope for Nigeria as alternative to the mainstream we have. I've had people discuss recently that if Atiku in ADC versus Asiwaju in APC is what we are going to have in 2027, we better still go for third leg. That Atiku and Asiwaju is just about the same system. That nobody's going to get involved in that. I've discussed with people, so much. So this third arm, if it's not coming from Jonathan, or not coming from P2B, or not coming from maybe any new person, who might look at, how will alternative be available for Nigerians?
In those days when the Israelites were expecting a Messiah, right? The Messiah came, and what happened?
They didn't recognize him.
And eventually they killed him. So when I see what's going on in the Labour Party, I am not alarmed. I am not worried. And I'll tell you why. The reason is because there used to be an advert for milk what's the name of the pig milk in those days? It is in us, or something like that. It is not in our character to behave properly, right? And I'm beginning to see it from one party to the other, That is why when I see people say, Labour Party, blah, 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 and I say, what have we not seen? The same symptoms, the same disease that we have seen in all other places, that is what is going on there now. Somebody has made up his mind that Abure, that guy, is obstructing something.
Yeah.
So let's give, and like it is in social media, once you send something out and it goes viral, nobody cares anymore to ask questions. Is this thing true? Like you said, for you to compromise,
yes,
something huge has to be at stake.
Yes.
What was at stake? Like you said, the election was over. So what was it that Abure compromised? And if he compromised anything, bring forth the evidence. Let us see it. And if he compromised anything, what does the Constitution say? There are processes you could use to remove him. Now you just say he's compromised. How? Nobody knows. So where does that take you, me, or the Labour Party, or Nigeria? Nowhere.
Okay, headway for Labour Party, after this Congress, what should they do to correct the Abia State? How do they get OT on board or out of the board?
No, for me, they should continue with the congresses and leave Abia State out of it for now, because with the court injunction, Abia should stay.
That's what they are set out
Yes,
to do.
they should go. Then there is always a platform for reconciliation. There's still that in the party, which is a big fish in the party. You could go for that reconciliatory meeting. As it stands, that we don't, for sincerely, know where we stands. We don't even know that we will not wrong with the party. Well, since that has showed his hand, I see he's very, very interested in the peace of the party. I think he should be the one leading that mission. I don't think a sensible party should throw away the only government they have. Everybody needs money. It needs funding. And you have a governor that can come in to help with that. They should throw him away. They should find a way to accommodate him.
All right, Abia State is still very important to Labour. No same party will throw away the only governor they have. So LP shouldn't throw Abia State. We don't throw OT away. And under the leadership of Dati, you can as well bring OT in and actually check whether the Abure you say is compromised is indeed compromised or angered. And if at all there's no party that is no chairman is bigger than a party, there are processes in LP constitution with which you can remove Abure without having to resort to court automation, which oftentimes you have to have a court judgment containing the will of the governor from only the state where the governor is from. It happened in PDP and we saw it. That's not how